Welcome back to another video, morning workout talk brought to you by your one and only literary Pharoah. I'm Papa the Sailor Man. I'm Papa the Sailor Man. I eat me spinach. I'm being silly this morning. Had a great workout. I've been banned. I was banned from YouTube for 2 weeks. So that's why the consistency of my videos haven't been posted, but I have been posted on my Rumble account. If you guys want to know, I talk about other topics on Rumble, things that I can't talk about on YouTube because I'll be censored. When I'm talking about certain medical procedures and certain things about the nefarious government that we're under, I tend to go a little bit deeper on Rumble. There's a particular group out here that oppresses people. They run the music industry, they run the entertainment industry, they run every industry. They're part of everything. The banking systems, the privatized banks, the centralized banks. These particular people, you know who they are, but I can't say their names. I'm on YouTube right now, so if I say their name, I may be banned because it's considered being hateful to speak the truth nowadays. Or if you criticize a particular group of people, you'll be considered anti-something. You guys know what that is. Kyrie Irving got in trouble for saying something, for promoting a particular documentary on his X account. He was demonized in the NBA as if he was a person that was full of hate. And we all know that the basketball player Kyrie Irving is far from that. He's not a hateful person. So my Rumble account, it says O'Taylor Maxwell, but it should be Literary Pharaoh. Type in O'Taylor Maxwell Rumble or Literary Pharaoh Rumble. Maybe you'll find it there. Rumble is a platform that allows people to actually, speak their minds without, the fear of being censored. I believe it's very toxic to the human movement, to the human experience to limit people to what they can say. I don't think people should be limited to what they can say as long as you're not promoting murder or death. If you're speaking truth and you're criticizing a particular group of people, whether it's the medical industry, whether it's the malfeasance of the medical industry and their negligence in their terms of their practices, their protocols or procedures, whether you're talking about the government, how evil the United States government is, I believe you should be able to say those things without, am I going to be censored? So as I'm driving to work right now, there is, you guys need to look up geoengineering online. Geoengineering online. Go to geoengineeringwatch.com and you will get information about what's going on in the skies. Right now, I'm driving. I'm not going to get my phone and start recording what I see in the skies right now. Right now, I'm in Houston, Texas. It's 7:15 a.m. I'm on the road to work. And if you look up in the skies, you'll see jet exhaust spraying. They're spraying things in the freaking sky, and they call it condensation. If you look up on Google and you type in, chemtrails, chemical trails, they'll say that that's a conspiracy theory, that it's debunked. That not only is it debunked, it's condensation. That's not condensation. Condensation does not coagulate and stick in the sky like that. It doesn't stick. It doesn't stay. Have you ever seen people in the winter when they're talking? Even if you're watching a football game and it's extremely cold, condensation dissipates. When people are talking and you see the mist coming out because of the heat, the precipitation, and the extreme cold and extreme heat coming together forms that cloud. It doesn't stay. It disappears. Condensation doesn't stick. It doesn't form a cloud. What I see going on right now in the skies are serious aircraft flying above us, spraying chemicals on us. Now, most of you guys, because you don't care, all you care about is your McDonald's, all you care about is your fast food restaurants, all you care about is the things that kill you. It's ironic that your focus is on death because you're too blind to see that even the foods and the cravings and the addictions you have are also deliberately put there with intention to actually destroy you. But that's neither here nor there. That's a whole nother topic for another day. You don't care about what they're doing in the skies because I'm still here. Past generations are still here. It's no big deal, but it is a big deal because the human experience, the capacity in which we can live it is being limited extremely because those things that are being put upon us, that are being sprayed on us, are not things that are good for us. If they were good, They would promote it as good. They wouldn't hide it. The reason why they won't promote it as good, they can't lie outright. They can't overtly lie about that, because if they did say those things were good, people would research it and people would combat the proclamation of it being good. So what you do, you keep it covert. You do it in secrecy, and you just tell people that it's condensation, that it's not chemical trails. Or the scientific term you should use is geoengineering, because if you type in chemtrails, the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages of Google, no matter how far you dig deep, the algorithm is made to just block that term. So you can't say chemtrails. You have to use the scientific term geoengineering. That's what this is when you're spraying chemicals in the skies. These chemicals are known to have aluminum in them. Aluminum is very dangerous for the brain, dangerous for the blood. Aluminum is known to cause Alzheimer's and dementia. If you don't have to believe what I'm saying. I'm not telling you to believe me. Just do your own research. I'm telling you what it is. But if you think that I'm a nut job, that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, then just do your own damn research yourself. And you'll come to the realization like, oh, that guy, he was telling the truth. Why would I get on YouTube just to lie? Not everybody who's on YouTube is a conspiracy theorist. Not everything you hear is full of is conspiracy. The only true wow, look at this. Look, you know what? I can't help it. I gotta record this, man. Hold on, let me flip my camera. Do y'all see this shit? What the F is that? You see those two lines? One that looks like a backwards L, then another one to the far right by the tree. Look at that. How is that condensation? Come on, folks. Let's use our goddamn brains for a second. They're spraying chemicals on us. Nanoparticulates, nanoplastics, 31 proven toxins that I talked about on my Rumble channel. Red blood cell desiccants. Formaldehyde. They're spraying this stuff on us. You say, well, it must be good. Why would they do it? Why would they spray something that's good for us? Have you ever checked out the pharmaceutical industry and the medicines that they give to people? Have you ever heard of the recent modern cancer treatments, of how the cancer treatments actually kill you because they end up attacking the good cells in your body? You guys are, man, pisses me off, man. That people are not as outraged as I am. I guess people don't give a damn. I don't know. That is insane. That is insane. Condensation, my ass. They're spraying the skies, man. They're spraying the skies. Here's another look for you blind folks in the background. Here's another look. Let me zoom in on this so you can see. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. You see how that one's spreading? That's not condensation. That is not condensation. They are spraying chemicals on us, and we are breathing and inhaling this shit. This is what's causing people to have respiratory problems amidst the other things that we do to ourselves. We are a pollutant. And even the background, you see how it's kind of whitish in the background, those white gray sky, those aren't even real clouds. Those are manufactured. They spray that shit. And here, you see another one? You see another one flying across right there? Going across, going from east to west, going from west to east. You see that? You see that one? You see it? That's insane. Now that one there seems more like condensation because I don't see a trail of it. That one seems to be dissipating. So I would believe that to be more condensation. This shit over here, this is not condensation. This is not condensation at all. It's not condensation. You mix in the good with the bad and you convolute the situation, and then you confuse people. And then you think, oh man, maybe it is condensation. No, there's a distinction. Condensation has a particular has a characteristic of dissipating. Chemtrails, or when you're spraying chemicals, nanoplastic, it tends to stick. So yeah, man, that's what we're under. And of course, on my video, they may put some damn disclaimer down at the bottom saying, whether geoengineering is this and blah, 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 blah. They know the truth. They know that more people are waking up to the realization that we're living in a death cult, a dome, a globe of death. The globe is Earth. Recently, my father-in-law, my wife's father, now he's in his 70s, I believe, maybe his late 60s. For the first time, I just think people have their own time of waking up. Whether you wake up now or later, it's better to wake up than to never wake up. He was one of the people that used to have the notion of, we're going to die anyway. Everything kill you. We all going to die anyway. And you keep eating bad. You just keep stuffing your mouth with toxic food. We're going to die anyway. But for the first time, my wife went over her parents' house because her mom was doing her hair. And my wife, we had a conversation yesterday. She told me, she was like, all this time that I used to try to talk to my dad about certain foods, how certain foods are bad and how certain foods are causing sicknesses, they would just act like I'm not saying anything. But for the first time, this is what she said. She said, my dad, he started to talk about how the foods is what's causing people to get sick. I looked at my wife, I'm like, but you've always told them that. See, that's the problem with communication and listening and receiving a message that's being told to you. The American people are so indifferent to truth that even when you give them truth, and even if you provide them the evidence of the truth, they won't see it. That's called being a sheep. You're being blind. The only way a sheep can see is when the blinders are removed from the sheep's eyes. For my father-in-law to initiate the conversation to my wife and say, it's the foods that's killing people, that was a monumental act. That was monumental. That was because it wasn't like my wife was drilling it into his brain like, it's the foods, you gotta believe me. No. The conversation was initiated by him. He's a little bit awake. And that's a plus. I'm not saying that you're supposed to be awake to know everything, but start somewhere. And if you have to start with what you put inside your body, because life and death isn't the choices that we make. Now, there's no such food. You can listen to this lady called the glucose goddess. I think that's what they call her, glucose goddess. She breaks down the biochemistry of foods and how they interact with the human body. And there's no food out there that's in its pristine state. Even the fruits we eat, the vegetables we eat, they've all been biologically engineered. However, that does not mean that just because you're not eating at the most optimal level, it doesn't mean that you just totally abandon reaching for the stars, so to speak. It doesn't mean that you just give up and then give in to the toxic foods that you know are going to kill you. Now, we know that grapes have sugar in them, but it's a fruit. But all sugars have the same molecule. There's no such thing as, whether it's agave, maple syrup, brown sugar, white sugar, it doesn't matter. All sugars have the same molecule. Okay? When you eat a grape, it has the same molecule, but the difference with the grape is that you have the fiber, the skin of the grape, all right, helps to digest and stabilize the sugar in your body, because the fiber, you can't just have it's sort of like taking a spoon full of sugar and eating it. That is going to go into your body unfiltered. It's going to just wreak havoc into in your system. But the fiber that you eat is what makes you, number one, feel full so you don't have the cravings. And fiber is what slows down the digestive process. It doesn't help your glucose levels to spike. So if you just eat raw sugar, your glucose levels will spike. If you eat sugar with fiber, your glucose levels will be stable. Yeah, they'll rise, but it won't spike. So if you think that everything's bad, it doesn't mean, well, all sugars are bad, so I might as well just eat the worst part of the sugar. No, you still have to practice. You still have to operate with best practices in mind. You still have to operate it with best practices in mind. You can't just give up and say, oh, well, no food out there is perfect, so I'm going to just eat bad. No, you can't do that. You still have to make the best choices within the confines of this death cult that we are immersed in. You know, you pick the lesser of the two evils, if that makes sense. And because our bodies are engineered to be a regenerative machine, when you put in something that's good inside you, your body will naturally start to respond to you and for you in a way that allows you to actually experience life the way you're supposed to experience it. So yeah, that was my father-in-law had an epiphany. He was like, these foods are killing people. So he started to ask my wife, what kind of milk do we use? What kind of cereal? My wife says, look, we don't even eat cereal. If I do get cereal, it's this brand of cereal that she gets. It's supposed to be Bobby approved, but even still, anything, I always tell my wife, I don't eat things that are in packages. I don't like to eat things in boxes. I like to eat things that are pulled from the soil. I like to eat nuts, cashews, pecans, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, grapes, blueberries, kale, mushrooms. I try to eat things that are natural foods. And not saying that those natural foods are the best foods in the world, but if you asked me what would I rather eat, my vegetable medley or a Big Mac from McDonald's, I would eat my vegetable medley cooked in avocado oil. I would elect to do that because that's the best choice. It's not the best of the best. It's not the most pristine. I'm sure those vegetables weren't grown in the best conditions, even though it says organic, because our air is polluted. I just got to showing you the shit that they're spraying on us. Where do you think those things go? You think they just stay in the sky? They eventually have to come down. Our planet is polluted. So we're not eating at the most pristine level, but you have to eat close to it. You have to rest. You have to exercise. Those things matter. We spend more time working hard, collecting money to pay bills, and we forget that we do have a temple to take care of. You say, literary Pharaoh, what do you mean temple? Your temple, your body. That's what I mean, your temple. I'd rather you put in more work on your body and your health than put in work at your 9 to 5, trying to impress your boss so you can get a raise or so you can move up the corporate ladder. I don't give a damn about that. What good is it for you to move up the corporate ladder and die the next week after you get your promotion because you were unhealthy? Your whole life you were unhealthy because you worked so hard to get to this level that you wanted to get to, and you finally got there. Now you croak. Now you've croaked. Now you die. That's called exercising in futility, vanity, nothing. So yeah, that was a big moment, and that's good for him. He's in his late 60s. He's finally realized that after all the bad eating he's done. But sometimes I feel that frequency is real, and I think that even my wife, before we met, she didn't, the way she eats now, she did not eat like that. She ate like the typical Black American: bacon, eggs, pastas, and all this other BS that our black people eat, which is why we look so bad. We look bad. We look horrible. We look horrible, and we are the most unhealthy race because the European diet that we've adopted has nothing to do. It does not mesh well with our biochemistry. All right. It does not mesh well with our biochemistry at all. So we continue to ingest foods that are not, that do not accentuate our biochemistry, and we wonder why we're the sickest race. We're the sickest race because it's deliberately done. It doesn't mean that black people eat bad. We eat the same thing that whites eat. American foods, like we eat the same thing: burgers, pizzas, pastas, junk food, cookies, coffee, chips, muffins, cakes. We eat all that shit. We eat the same damn thing. But the difference is the African American gets impacted in the most negative way, far much worse than what the Caucasian would experience. The melanin content in our brain, as I've said repeatedly on this channel, we have neuroreceptors, parasympathetic nerve responses, and sympathetic nerve responses. The sympathetic nerve responses of our brain starts to function in a flight or fight mode, due to the amygdala being impacted by the high melanin content of our brain, making us more addicted to the synthetics and these chemicals that they put in these foods deliberately to attack us. Now you may say it's not that big of a deal. Why are they just trying to attack us? Well, genetically we're superior. But it doesn't seem that way because genetic warfare has gotten us operating lesser than our optimal selves. So it's sort of like if you drug a baby and you drug a child from birth, you give a child formula, you put nothing but toxins in that child's brain. Then when the child gets to school, you're like, oh, why is this child having problems learning? Well, they're under chemical warfare. All right. So I'm going to leave it there, folks. That's my morning workout talk. Leave a comment, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember, your health is your wealth.